Yeah, this is insane, After, you said 58 years?
Yeah, 58 years.
2 bikes in America.
Yeah. He's pulling me away. I'm gonna look at him.
It's a starter museum.
Amazing.
This way. There they are, covered up. What was your first initial, oh my gosh, these motorcycles are, but
Well, I seen the bikes, right, on the pictures, and then I know the history, behind, but seeing the bikes in person is just insane. Actually, kind of heavy. I'm thinking about why I'm here, right? Why I ended up here. Why I seen these bikes. And there's a reasons.
Since 1965, it's been put away and not touched. It's been in a crate, and this is the way it was, I guess, at Suzuka.
I'm beside myself. I don't know what to say. I'm very honored. It's emotional almost. It's a big day, big day.
But the condition is insane.
I mean, what is it, 58 years?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's
58 years.
I think you nailed it. Overwhelming and special, and hard to believe it all came together so easily and so naturally. Because everyone has just been so gracious, from the Yoshimura family to the Barber Museum to Gilbert, my friend, recognizing this and contacting people and working tirelessly to bring it together, and everyone being so willing to do it.
Oh, it's insane. It's crazy.
This is so cool on like 40 levels. To watch Yusaku and his emotion when he saw the bikes, to listen to Fujio and the emotion in his voice, thinking about how his father, put these bikes together.
Obviously, Pop made those bikes, raced it, and then so on. Yoshimura has grown so much since then, but this is the beginning, right? So, and then somehow I ended up here. So it's just a lot to think about, why I'm doing this, why I'm here. Yeah, it's heavy.
Like this.
That's right.
Really was the pinnacle piece of elevating Yoshimura to world status, right?
True.
One of the bikes, right?
Right.
This is the second bike. But what's it like to see this for the first time since you were a teenager?
Well, strange. The thing that makes me amazed is that the people actually kept those things with all the records. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, this is insane. After, you said 58 years?
Yeah, 58 years.
2 bikes in America.
Yeah. It stayed in Japan for like a year, and a U.S. serviceman bought this bike and the black bike, and then shipped them to the U.S. together. So they've been together.
Right.
Yeah.
These two bikes have been together.
Every single bike has a story, you know, and of course this one has a story. So, and people, you know, now knows that the hey, this particular machine has a such and such a story, and that's it. That is the, you know, the importance of the whole event, you know. Yeah, it took us. I remember 18 hours to get there from where we are, Fukuoka City, to Suzuka. The winning bike exactly looked like this, you know, and number 2 license plate on it. That's the one what won the race. But obviously this one, the red one, I guess, was 250. But leading the race till like 2 hours to go. I think they dropped the valve or something. Yeah. That incident really made the Yoshimura made famous in Japan. You know, till then.
The 1964 race.
Yeah,
Went up.
That's right.
These two motorcycles represent so much to so many different people. You know, from Yoshimura the corporation, Yoshimura the family, the owners, Dr. Barrett, and those that came before him, curators of the museum here, and they understand what it means. And I hope the world understands that these two bikes represent more than just some race in 1964, which is kind of cool. It's engineering, it's tenacity, it's make it work, it's emotion, it's family, it's hobbies.
He's really the reason why we're all standing here. He's the guy that found these motorcycles in Dr. Barrett's garage, and he's like, "Hey, let's go ride these things. Let's go race them." And Gilbert was like, "I don't think we should touch these."
That was exactly what happened. An email came out, said, "What is this thing called Concours de Competition?" I explained it. Dr. Barrett says, "Well, I've got these two Yosh bikes, let's go race them." And I waited, and I couldn't take it anymore. And I said, "Well, let me look at the bikes."
Yeah, like I said, I had them a long time, and I thought they were cool, and people say, "Yeah, that's cool, what else you got?" And you know, it didn't get this kind of worldwide attention. Now that it does, I'm just really happy for the bikes to be recognized and to be the curator of them and have them.
I brought the documentation and the pictures here to Barber and talked to Lee Whaley, their archivist. She says, "Oh my gosh, you know, this is all knitted together. You have what you think you have." And then Chuck came in, and I had to spend 45 minutes again going through with him. He was just excited.
I grew up, you know, watching those guys. This was a little bit before my time, but Yoshimura's been a part of my life since, well, I've been playing with motorcycles all my life. So probably in my early teen years is where I really kind of learned about them, and you know, they've been in my mind ever since. And I've used their products over the years, and to be here with the two of them is phenomenal.
And as you have talked here today, I've come to learn that this is really where Pops came out of the garage and made it to the big time. This is where superbikes started. This is where tenacity and engineering and thinking hard about problems to make them go faster.
That's right.
This is where it all starts. I mean, if Pop hadn't been there, who would it have been, and would it have been this good? Family emotion, you know, family ties. Our goal, or my goal, because I don't think anybody ever, we did not come to a meeting and say, what's our goal of this meeting? But my goal was to see the family reunited with these motorcycles. And hopefully they would have an emotional reaction, and they certainly did. And so for me, that emotional reaction and interaction with just these bikes and the memory of Pops Yoshimura, that's the special for me.
we're all standing here today at a special time, and it was supposed to happen now, not 10 years ago,
Right.
but now, today. And I think that's what makes it even more special, is that they were around, but they weren't high profile, or people weren't paying attention, or...
You know, this man that everybody holds very high built this with his own hands. His fingerprints are in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when Chuck, if he chooses to open this up and finds fingerprints, I know whose they're going to be. So, wow.
When I grew up, Fujio never told me, or any family member told me that, you know, you have to take over Yoshimura, right? You have to be in this business. And nobody told me that, you know. I choose to be here. Everybody in this room, if we're missing one, I think I'm not standing here, right? You know, you connect all the dots, you bought the bike.
Kept them as is.
Yeah, exactly. And then if Pop didn't make these bikes, I'm not standing here.
Right.
So I'm just very honored, you know. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
I really think that the, you know, those type of, you know, activity never happened in Japan, you know. I don't think it's a cultural thing, you know, or, you know, I don't know. But, you know, I think American people knows, you know, the value, you know, in other words, what kind of story behind, you know, this, you know, the thing, you know, and it is something that I think we should be aware in Japan, you know, for some, you know, craftsmanship and the history of it, you know, and especially motor, you know, racing, you know, has to have the record, you know, the winning or losing, you know, make a big difference. Although it's the same bike, you know, but it's a history.
This is a really special story, and we need to get this out to the world. So he took the reins and brought it forward. Like I said, I'm just the current caretaker, and just so happy that I just left them as they were. I thought the story was fantastic. I have a lot of memorabilia from that race. I thought it was really important, and one day somebody would recognize it, but I did not know that it would be this big and this important. I didn't realize this was like the inaugural race that set the stage for Pop to springboard onto the national scene.
Did you ever think that this would happen?
No. In fact, when we brought the bikes here last year and I won Best of Show, I was just in awe. I was like, but I didn't do anything. I didn't build this bike. I didn't race this bike. It's like, and it really took a while to sink in that it has that much importance to so many people worldwide that I guess I did do something. I recognized it and I got it, and it's more than I thought, but I didn't think it would get this kind of attention. The story as it was told was a little sketchy, and things can be, you know, you can make things look old. You can take an old bike and make it look older. You can take paint and make it look distressed and whatnot. And so the history, the paper trail was a little spotty. It had holes in it. So real true historians would look at it and go, man, I don't know, there's too many holes in it, I don't believe it. I talked to the fellow that I got it from, who had known the fellow that had brought it from America, and I believed him. I guess I took a little bit of a flying leap, but I believed him when I thought, I think this bike is original, and who would have thought to duplicate this bike 58 years ago? Pop's going to be somebody great, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate his bike, and in 50 years it's going to be worth a lot. I said, that's just crazy, nobody would do that, but I did not know how important it was.
They're a little bit rough, but in my later years, I'm appreciating that more. I used to want everything shiny and pretty, and you know, but not anymore. Especially something like this, these things need to be left alone. Mechanically restored, but not cosmetically at all, because you know, they're this way now, and they are what they are, and if you restore that, you're destroying history, I think. So I think they should remain as they are.
This bike will Pop and Honda joined it. So the reason is this bike. So
Wow.
This,
This is the fork in the road.
yeah, so this is very.
Yeah, he was very honored, you know, asked by Honda, you know, therefore, yeah, can we, you know, check your, you know, the motor at Honda R&D, you know, what you've done, and he was very honored.
That's an interesting perspective of like Honda, you know, getting cars into the F1 thing and
Yeah.
like, I don't have time to do this. You're really good at it. I need you to so like almost the start of like HRC.
I think I wanna ride. So because a motorcycle is not just a trophy or object, I like riding and sound, smell. These are very important things for the motorcycle.
Motorcycles are made to be ridden. These have suffered the ills of time. So there's seals that need to be replaced and other things, but just to stand and look at them as a piece of art, it's nice, but it wasn't made to be a piece of art. It was made to be a motorcycle and to be ridden.
My idea would be is if we could take this motorcycle and get it running and have it look exactly like it looks now. Not change the rust, not change the paint, not change the chrome, the stainless and nothing, to have it look like it looks now and be on the racetrack, that would be a dream come true.
Fujio tells me all three of the Japanese riders that rode this in 1964 are still alive. However, the Americans that were 20 and 21 years old at that time are not still alive. This bike, that bike, you know, that was the only American entry. This was the Pop's entry. Although Pop's managed the team that won. And here we are at the world's largest museum, the world's most prominent museum for motorcycles, and they're participating with us to unveil this, bring the family back with it. I see that tenacity that Pop's inbred into the company, that we're going to engineer this and we're going to engineer it correctly and we're going to make it faster than the other guy, but it's going to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard you say he was a bit of a gambler.
Yeah.
But I think the gambling was calculated gambling.
Yeah.
And it was
That's
very
right.
carefully
That's right.
considered. And so I see now in the company of Yoshimura, that same blood
Yeah.
is still there.
It's a legacy where his son is taking over and his son's sons are taking over, and it's really a family business. And it means a lot to them. It means a lot to me now to know that this is more than just a motorcycle that raced at a race 58 years ago. This is a part of a family heritage and legacy.